All right, my friends, it's the transfer window. I'm wearing the same shirt as the last episode. I've not even really gotten into the transfer window. It says December 12th. I've gone back essentially to the end of season awards, and then we'll see how amazing the transfer window ends up being. So let's go find out together. You and me together. It's the mystery. All right, my friends. Overall best 11. Sean Flynn was the pick of the two players that joined. Wait. Okay, and Doolin. I was like, who's the other one? I was like, who's Ryan Mackey? Oh, right. He's apparently our spokesperson. So Sean Flynn, Doolin. So we got Erich on the wrong side. Flynn, Davies still holding down the left back spot. That's quite impressive. Still with Cardiff Met Uni. Oh, they made Europa League. They made the Europa League. Oh, 27 starts, 3 subs on 6, 7, 8. He's still kicking on. Good for him. Good for him. Erich, Doolin, Flynn, Russell, White, Gleason, Elaine still holding down the left side. Interesting. Daniel Thompson is on a substitute option. Hayes Ward and Whitty. So again, they have to be here a certain number of seasons. So I think that's when you'll see like the likes of Demov and Tony Byrne taking some of those spots potentially. And same thing here with Janadu and versus Dempsey, because Stephen McGuinness is still the substitute. Oh, I also noticed, sad news, Gavin Wilkinson retired. Second retired. Oh, Captain Jack is still kicking on. So he's now a really bad coach. Fantastic. Can we put him like in our youth setup? Like that would be fine. Give me that option. Paddy O'Connor is, wow. I maybe we've already gone over this, but he's a really bad looking scout and he didn't do anything afterwards. Right. Moving on. Connor Lang's also gone. Yeah. Dylan McGlade? No. Josh Collins is surely gone. Yeah. Jed Spence. Okay, he went to Chester and then that was it for him. Which is fine. He did his thing. He did his thing. Marty Waters still with us. 14, 10, and 10. I think he's getting better. That's impressive. I'm quite happy that he's stuck around. End of season awards. Here we go. Christo Demov with this is the closest it's been in quite some time, no? 34%, Erich 29%, Gleason 24%. That is a really tight race. A really tight race. Team of the season, Tony Byrne, Demov on the left, Gleason, Whitty, Russell, White, Doyle, Erich, McPherson, Robinson. 7.3 and 14 starts. This is the guy with the lower back stress fracture. 22 starts at a 7.42. I think that's harsh for Doolin. Doolin's sitting there going like, what? What about me? Goal of the season, not going to watch it. Sean Sweeney, as expected, signing the season because the other one's on loan. We only paid $25,000 for him. I think he's going to be quite good. We're going to see if we can convince him after the World Cup. Like if he doesn't get called up, he probably will. Or did they qualify? Let's go find out. Did they qualify? Please say no. Yes, they did not qualify. So there's a chance we can get all the way through the World Cup without him getting cap tied to Northern Ireland, where we could keep him. We could snag him back. You'd think, dude. Like, I'm your favorite. Why would he? That makes no sense. I mean, family and situations, whatever. And then young player of the season, Demov. I probably gave that away last time with the overall, Ireland or Premier Division player of the season and all that kind of stuff. But nonetheless, my friends, look at this. 2,100% full. That's why we are building a stadium. We are building a stadium. Now, it will be interesting, right? If you go, let's just go look at home games. Okay, all 2000s. 1975 Leinster Senior Cup quarterfinal. Champions League, right? 4,500, 4,900, 5,000. So, like, those are ticket sales that we would get in the future. But I'm curious, are we limited by our size? Like, could this have been 2,100 or 2,500 or 3,000 or 4,000? Like, has our fan base grown, right? Because that was some of the comments last season, or maybe it was the season before. People like, stop focusing on trying to build a stadium because you're not big enough. Like, your fan base isn't big enough. And I'm like, well, how do I get bigger fan base? And they're like, just go win competitions and whatever. And so now that we're building a stadium that holds 6,250, is that what it was? Oh, I've gone back in time. I think it's 6,250. Yeah. This is the day that they announced, right? Okay. So that's why we're time traveling here. But like, can we get to 4,000 on average, right? That would be huge, right? If you go look at let's take a Cork City, right? Their facilities hold 7,365, and they're getting at home 3,400, 3,500. So like, are we going to get that size of a fan base? Because that would be really exciting if like all that good stuff happens, right? I don't really think there's anything else to show you there. All right, let's move forward and see what happens in the transfer window. All right, my friends, I have hopped forward. I'm wearing a different shirt. Things are happening. We're getting ready to play Chelsea in the Europa League first knockout round. But we have transfers. You might have been wondering, like, well, what was that about? Note we're down to 19.4 million euros, my friends. We have splashed some cash. First off, I got my notes over here. 2.1 million for training facilities starts on 3 days from now, February 17th, completes on June 23rd. 2.2 million for youth facilities starts on February 17th, completes on April 14th. We got youth recruitment and coaching. It took some arguing, which I was a little mad about. They're like, I think we're good. And I'm like, we're not. And they're like, okay, like, since you're so passionate, fine. We only paid out $545,000 in dividends, which I think is down from like 3.4 million or something last season. I'm scrolling. 2.4 million last season. Just looked at my notes. Wow. Last season we also paid 1.6 million in tax. This time only 475,000. So it must be all the money that we earned a lot of money, but then we turned around and spent, right? It's spent money. That's this season, not last season. I'm not sure. Right? We generated Champions League revenue, and then we spent a good chunk of it on facilities and obviously on Grey Hair Gaming freaking arena. Top jerseys surprised me. Matthew Whitty, #1 best-selling jersey. What? Followed by Harry White, Tony Byrne, Gary Gleason, and Frank Adich bringing up the rear. So no Gary Hayes Ward. Irish Player of the Year, like anybody who's Irish playing professional football, Martin O'Neill, Tony Byrne second, Ryan Cassidy third. So Tony Byrne taking second over a Watford striker. Interesting. It was same for Young Player of the Season, so it was Martin O'Neill and Tony Byrne, both young players. And Ryan Cassidy was not it, but someone named Sam Thompson from Bohemians was the third best. That's not, oh, things have gone. Oh, I've clicked all over now, haven't I? Players, not my players, their players. What's his name? Sam Thompson. Nine starts, a sub, 2 goals, 9 assists, sub 0.5. I guess that's pretty good. I guess that's fair. That's fair play. We have an Irish League Premier Division, whatever, Player of the Year was Gleason, and that's exciting. We have up the wage budget to 72 grand. When you look at it, we still have like a lot that we could spend. We've spent some money, my friends. I always up the scouting budget because I want Europe for the senior team and the youth team. It starts out not providing enough money for that, so I adjust it. It's like on the slider I adjust it once, and it's enough money because we got money here, lads. New deals. I'll try. I probably have forgotten some of them, to be honest with you, but the important ones: Adich, Stephen Coleman, Sean Sweeney, Sean Flynn. Gary Hayes Ward wanted a first team contract. I got him to accept a rotation. Darryl Divine on a rotation, Ricky McPherson on a first team, and Maloney. Hold on a second. 7.5 million. I'm counting 7.4, but whatever. So you saw Cathal Devlin. He's had 3 friendlies and starts and a sub on a 7.22. He's been all right. I would have liked to have seen better, but he's settling in and he's 20. It's fine. The left back is a Romanian, 19 years old. I'm not saying he's amazing, but he's on a rotation contract, and I'm a little worried about Dean Doyle. Like, he has stopped progressing even though we've played him a lot. Now, he's 23, so he's getting a little bit older, but, like, maybe we should put him on wing backs, automatic support. I don't know. Like, he's just not gotten, like, outstanding. Like, he was there for a while. Like, every time I clicked on Dean Doyle, it was like green arrows. And he's kind of slowed down to the point where now he is behind, theoretically, Frank Erich. I guess it's saying from, like, a left back in general, not a wing back. Surely, I mean, his crossing and dribbling is worse than his, but his marking's pretty good, tackling. So, like, is Erich going to slide over to take the left back role as he gets older? Which sounds, that's not how it's supposed to work. You get older, you slide in because you can't run as much. But whatever. So we signed this guy as kind of like the next, like, we didn't have one in our, we had one in our under 19s, but he's not the next Dean Doyle, I guess. So he's already got better crossing than Dean Doyle. He's got some stuff to work on, but overall, I thought he knows the wingback. Like, he knows wingback. Good pace acceleration, good balance, not very fit. So, like, we're going to have to rotate him. Good thing he's on a rotation contract. Can mark pretty well. Again, these aren't superb, but he's 19. So I thought he was worth, let's drop 500 grand. I probably overspent a little bit because there's some other clubs interested, but it's like, let's just go buy him. 2.3K. So he's making more than Dean Doyle, who's probably like, hello? What? I'm not sure we're going to extend Dean. Like, we're going to see how he continues to shape up. I like the mentals though. So yeah, we'll probably keep him. But overall, I think he's a darn good signing. But the big one, my friends, Amir, we're just going to call him Amir, is a left winger, inside forward, can play striker, can play midfield in a bind, can play left wing left midfield, even in a pinch could play attacking midfield. But the reason I signed him is he knows the inside forward and he looks phenomenal, right? Like, Daniel Thompson's a pretty good player, but like it was breaking these guys' star ratings when I was scouting him because it was like 4.5. It's like, if he's that much more better, he's better than my grammar. He just looks really good. Very technical. Has to work on the head and about peripheral figure, whatever. He's 20 years old. French lad. He has no caps. Okay, let's look. We got 1,793 days left before we can make him Irish. I just think he looks really good. Now, he's only had a 6.75 and 2 starts and a sub, which has been disappointing, not going to lie. But we got him working on inside forward. It's the preseason, so we're still like grinding through some things, but I'm super excited about him. The outs, Paul Gibson, we knew he was leaving. Malo Elaine, we knew he was leaving. And I don't really blame Malo, 9.25K. We were paying him 1.8. He got quite the raise there. Good for him. Paul Gibson goes up to 1.9, got a raise, good for him. Sunday Uze didn't want to go to Bohemians. I'm trying to get him playing time, and he's already seen some attribute drops. So after that happened, I started taking into consideration when it said, hey, I want to go someplace or I don't. It said he had a slight interest. And then when I completed it, it was like, I have no interest. Like over here on the player screen, it'll say like, make parting comment to player. And I'm like, hey, we're going to work on your development. And he's like, I don't want to go. And I'm like, okay, sorry. We've already agreed. And so once his attributes started going down, I started paying attention. So instead, we've loaned out like the likes of Terry Ward on a rotation contract when we had, I think, a first team or a key player with like Sligo, but he wanted to go there. So maybe that helps him develop, but I don't know. I'm trying to make my players happy. We've loaned out Joseph Eros, not because he's bad. He was like the 5th or 6th midfielder. And so it's only until July 12th. So he's going to miss like the first part of the Champions League, but then he'll be back and he can help us either rotate in the league or we can add him to the Champions League squad. We'll figure it out. Bello's gone to Dundalk just to get rid. I really wish he could make it, but his concentration is holding him back. He's stopped developing. He had a horrible season last year with Sligo. He had 14 the year before, 2 goals the next season. Just awful. So he's gone. Aaron Brennan has gone, I think, all season to Waterford. I'm trying to get him playing time. It's time for him to be playing. And then Stephen Coleman has gone. Again, I want to say, yes, it was a 6-month deal or 5-month deal or whatever on rotation to Cork City because he wanted to go there. to get him some playing time, and also so we don't just have 6 million people sitting in the squad like we currently do. But some of these guys are going to go, well, maybe they're not going to go down to the under-19s. I'm not sure. So this is what the squad looks like. And again, it does look like we're carrying a bunch of players. But this time, I remembered, we have continental competition, right? This is the first time we made the Europa League. So we can't just send all of our homegrown players, homegrown club players, out, because that will represent a problem for us. So when you look at the wrong button, registration. Okay, homegrown stops. Well, somewhere down here. So we got Dean Doyle, 1. Sean Murphy, 2. Anthony Dempsey does not count. McGinnis would count. Slavin, 3. Conway, 4. So I've kept, like, I particularly want to call out, like, Conway, I would like to loan out. I think I like having him around, but I want to loan him out until the summer and then get him back, because when we suddenly have 6,000 games in September and October, it'd be nice to have him around. He's got potential, but it's time to get him more playing time. Last season, he got 3 starts. He had 11 cup starts, though. Progress. He played well in all of them. So, good player. I just can't send him out just this very second until we lose to Chelsea and probably get knocked out of the Europa League. That's just kind of how I'm expecting that to go. Same thing with Darryl Divine. Love him. I'm a little torn on him. He's our 5th best center back, but that means and Erich can cover the left back, but now we've got a replacement left back. So we got 4 guys to cover 2 roles, even with rotation, even with cup games. I think we can afford to loan him out for the first half of the year. I was going to say spring, but it's not all. It's part winter, part spring, part summer, and continue his development. That's what I would like to do. So, and obviously because we signed him late, we couldn't register Ovidiu. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that one. So that's kind of where things sit. I mean, I might even be convinced to loan out Sean Sweeney to continue his development, although he was quite good, right? 25 grand. Gave us 9 starts, 11 subs, 4 goals on a 7-0-1, 6 cup starts, 6 subs, 3 goals, 4 assists, 7-1-5. Pretty good. I know I had comments the end of the not last season, but the end of the season before that about like maybe having a Europe team and a league team. But it's kind of like that's kind of the problem I'm trying to solve, is like, what do we do before we get to that? Now, the added caveat is we've got Chelsea, and that's going to happen in the next episode. So this is what it looks like. We got Dempsey, had a little bit of a knock. What did he have going on here? A tight groin and a tight thigh. But he still got that black potential 5-star. So like, we're going to play him as much as humanly possible. He's only making 700 a week, which I think is hilarious. Like a couple of years ago, it was like, that's a lot of money. And now it's like, he's one of the lowest wage earners on the team. Definitely as a starter. Doolin on the right, Sean Flynn, Frank Erich, and McPherson, and Slavin, because we have 7 of. I forgot about this. Arsenal interested, and Man City was interested, and I said no, and he didn't get upset. So I really wish this would go away, so I could offer him a new contract and just like lock in like a €6 million buyout or something crazy. But again, if somebody came along, this is what's tough, right? Like I want us to be developing players and helping build the nation. That's the whole concept behind this, right? So if somebody came in and offered me 2-3 million for him and a sell-on fee, I'd probably be okay with that, because we've got, other options like not Cathal, but Darryl Divine. The other one that I showed you, or that I mentioned that I did not show you, that we signed to an extension because he was a youngster. So I don't even think it's gone into effect yet. Yeah, he's not old enough. May 4th on his birthday, it's going to go into effect. But he's quite good. He's got potential. So, like, he's short. Hope he has a growth spurt. But, are we going to be able to start cranking out players to where we're comfortable selling them? Which sounds really weird. But, like, Sean Flynn's 23. Erich is 26. Slavin's 18. McPherson's 25. Divine is 18. I feel like I'm missing one. Flynn, Slavin, McPherson, Erich. Okay, no. So it's like no one is like, they're not going to. I was thinking of O'Connor, who left many seasons ago. It's like they're not going to age out, right? Like if they continue to develop and they're good, like we're going to run out of spots unless we start playing like 3-4-3 with 3 center backs, and then we have more options to rotate. maybe that's where we go next as teams get more defensive against us. But it wouldn't be a terrible thing. I don't want to lose him. Like, he's a tasty little nugget, if you ask me. I'd rather sell one of these other guys. Like, not Frank, never. Even though he's now making $7,000 a week, it's because I love Frank. Like, Frank is my Harry Owen, if you watched Loki Doki back in the day. Or like McPherson. If somebody came in from McPherson, it's not that I want to lose him, but I wouldn't be devastated, right? Like, I'm not going to actively offer them out, but I'll, we're moving and shaking. That we don't really need the money is the other thing. So that's kind of where we're at with that. Dean Doyle with Eric as the apparently better option. And then this guy, we're just going to call him the Romanian. Jason Byrne, Harry White, Cathal Devlin. Devlin will probably, it depends on who we're playing, but I'd like to play White and Devlin together. But Byrne comes in when we're playing better teams and we need like a more defensive option. And then you've got John Smith, who's suspended, Paul Russell, who's coming off of an injury. We've loaned out Eros. That's pretty much it there. You've got Whitty, Demov, Sweeney, and then the loaned out, but eventually coming back, Stephen Coleman for the right wing / left wing. And then obviously Amir on the left with Daniel Thompson. Gleason, you've got Demov can play there. You've got Derek Conway. But again, because Demov can play there, we are the better team. Even if we had to play like a 4-2-4 in the league, garage door for you. That was for you, Pekka Wickman. Just listen to it. There it is. If we had to play 4-2-4 in league, I think would be actually okay. I'm not saying I want to do that, but or like a 4-3-3 wide with the DM, right? It's not going to be devastating if we don't have an attacking midfield replacement necessarily. Demov can play there. He's a shadow striker. It's fine, but it's not going to be devastating to us. And then obviously we got Tony Byrne, Gary Haysward, Demov, Sweeney covering the top. So that's where things sit. I'm not anxious about what your thoughts are on the signing. I think he's a phenomenal signing. Like I'd be, I guess, shocked if you disagreed, but I think we got theoretically not a good value. Paid him 13.5K, 3.1 million. He was making something stupid. Like he was making like 2K a week, if that. He got paid. But I think for those of you that are like, you need to start buying players, does this satiate you? Is this good enough? Should we have bought somebody else? I do have my eyes peeled for another goalkeeper. Not that I'm trying to take Dempsey's spot. I fear him stopping developing. If we could find a 5-star goalkeeper, I'd buy one. Same thing with right back. I like Robinson and Doolin, but they're already getting close to their max potential. So like if we could get a massive upgrade there, I'd be glad to do that. So my phone's ringing again. I'm going to go take care of that. Hit that like button. Let me know about all the money we spent, what your thoughts are. We'll see you next time. Bye!